5 of the leaders of this organization, and I've been blessed since to meet their families, beautiful families, like their families, and I should say the same about the children here, my brother and sister, the son and daughter of Munir Faruqi, and Allah free him. The work of their families is a testament to the type of men that they were, men and women, and there are many women. We talk about the men often, but there are women who are also in prison under these same types of charges, under these same types of cases. And we can definitely not neglect our women, especially considering what an important role in leadership that women have taken in this resistance to the so-called war of terror. We remember specifically Dr. Afia Siddiqui, whose case is one of the better known, I suppose, around the world. I remember in Karachi seeing her face literally on every corner. And in America, this was a case which drew people's attention, but people went to sleep on it. People thought that she was accused. She was shot. And then she was accused of trying to shoot, I think it was an FBI agent, in a secret prison that she was in. What's that?
Military police.
Military police. They're all the same to me, these acronyms. It's just different badges that they put on. And she was accused and convicted of trying to shoot one of these people. And many Americans said, yeah, she must have done something wrong. She's in prison. We need to be very careful of this. We need to be very careful of believing the lies that we're fed, and this happens so often, considering how often we're battered down by it. Tariq Muhammad, a man who was a pharmacist, for one. He was an interfaith leader, one very much focused on dialogue, on building alliances in the Boston community. This was not a marginal figure. Really, I look back on what he wrote and what he said, and he was a beautiful man. Really, just and you can see why he was dangerous. Not actually dangerous, but you can see why the government would have felt that we can't allow him to keep organizing. These people are leaders. They cut down our strongest in order to then let the flock scatter. And of course, our response has to be to organize tighter and to make sure that we're staying together even closer. And then, of course, the number of entrapment cases, the frame operations, where people were either just brought up on false charges or talked into or taken advantage of, to put in a compromising situation. And this is very common in the U.S. as well, and increasingly common, where people also with mental disabilities, with emotional disabilities, people who are poor and desperate, at the point of desperation, these people are taken advantage of and walked into a situation, a compromising situation, either by an informant or a paid agent, an undercover agent, and then brought up on terrorism charges and given a life in prison. Siraj Mateen is one of these cases. Ahmed Farhani is one of these cases. The Newburgh Four, I forgot this last night, the Newburgh Four. These men were in desperate poverty. One of the guys only agreed to go along with some very loose plan, and they thought that they were scamming the guy who was actually entrapping them. But he was only going to try to take this guy's money because his brother needed a kidney transplant and couldn't afford it. And this informant told him that if you come along with us on this plot, then we'll give you the money for your brother's desperately needed kidney transplant. Like, these are the types of people that they're taking advantage of. One of them was so schizophrenic that when it came time to their sentencing, I attended their sentencing in downtown New York. They couldn't even bring him out of the Brooklyn jail because he was so disturbed by his handicaps. And these are the terrorist masterminds that they waste so many millions of dollars in entrapping. I say all this to say, like I said, not to depress us, not to get us down, although of course we can't help but feel it, but so that way we can understand the gravity of what it is we're facing, the depth of what we're facing, and of course its international nature. Oppression is increasingly globalized, and therefore our resistance has to be increasingly globalized. We need very clear solidarity, and it's not just lip service that we're paying to the Irish cases here, but a commitment. And we're here out of love, I have to say. Like, we're here out of a deep love. I was blessed to meet Abu Mujahid Whelan in Brazil, and we connected, of course, because he's my twin. But talking to Nadia and about coming here, it was immediate. He said, "Oh, Ireland, we have to come. We have to make sure that we're connecting with communities there. We have to make sure that we're building solidarity there. We want them to know that we're with them, and we want to see if what support that we can get in prayers, if nothing else." And it's crucial that we take this energy out of this room that we don't just go to sleep tonight and wake up in the morning and go back to our routines, that we think about what are the small ways, and small ways add up to big. What are the small ways that we can start to make change? And how do we organize? How do we create a vision for where we want this world to be, so that way we can clearly strategize on how to get there? And I think this is what we're building now finally here in this room, in Dublin tomorrow, this whole week. And these are bonds of communication, and I hope that you'll keep in touch with the campaigns. We have email lists as well. I hope you'll keep in touch with the campaigns, keep in touch with the organizations represented on Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is that you use, and that we'll be in touch and we'll build. We have real opportunity here, and because it's an opportunity, an obligation to build something moving forward, and I'm really blessed to be a part of that, and I hope that you feel the same. And like I said before, and I'll conclude on this, is just don't be comfortable. It's very dangerous. Comfort is a very dangerous thing. One of my teachers spoke of how the Sahaba and the first generation after the Prophet, they would get so scared. They would get scared when they were comfortable. They would be worried. They would be concerned that Allah had either forgotten them or wanted bad for them because they had gotten so complacent. And so when there was a shakeup, when there was a challenge placed in front of them, they were encouraged by that. They weren't diminished by it, or why does Allah hate me? No, they were inspired by that because they knew that it was a chance for them to prove themselves, and that what to come would be greater. And this is the motivation that I hope we carry forward. And that first, you liberate yourself, of course. You know, this Islam for us, and many of us in this room are Muslim. This Islam for us is liberation. This is a personal liberation, but it's also a social one. And so look to yourself, look to your family, look to your neighbors. Neighbors of all faiths, it should go without saying, of course. Look to your people. Look to your region. And again, as you find that you have accomplished your goals, let's really build an international solidarity so that we really live the motto that none are free until all of us are free. And may Allah free us in this life and the next, Ameen. May Allah keep us united and reunite us in the next, Ameen. May Allah free all of our prisoners. May Allah free our brother Munir Faruqi. May Allah free Dr. Afif Siddiqui. May Allah free Tariq Mahana, all the prisoners who are imprisoned, who are oppressed, who are abused, tortured unjustly. May Allah free every single one of them. May Allah free the Craig Evan too. May Allah free Seamus Daly and all of the men here who have been fighting for Irish independence for 800 years, literally. 800 years at least, that people have been fighting to just get these strangers off the island. May Allah free every single one of them and guide us towards a real solution. And may Allah accept those who did not make it out, those who were martyred, those who died in prison. May Allah accept them as shaheed. May Allah accept them as martyrs, Ameen. And we know that those who died in His way are not dead, but are truly living with Allah. And we count on that promise, because Allah is He who keeps promises. Ameen. May Allah bless you guys, keep you strong, keep all of us together. And in any way that we could be useful, we're going to go into a Q&A as well. We hope that there's a discussion. We hope that you'll stay in touch. May Allah make us useful in that. And I look forward to that opportunity. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.